Yeah, I think it's like cowardly, to be honest, like because they didn't speak about him like this when he was here. If you ask anybody that played against him, they all say he was the best player in the league. He was the most terrifying person to go.
Paul Pierce sat on a podcast and told the world that Kobe Bryant was never the face of the NBA. The man who got carried off in a wheelchair during the finals, who got outscored, outworked, and outlasted by Kobe for over a decade, looked into a camera and said, the man who won 5 championships never represented the league. And he said it now. Not when Kobe was alive. Not when Kobe could walk into a room and turn Pierce invisible. The only reason he feels comfortable is because there's no one left to respond. Except somebody did. Jayson Tatum, a Celtic, went on the Pivot podcast and did something no active player in the NBA has done. He called out the disrespect by name. And the word he chose was not disrespectful or unfair. It was far worse.
Yeah, I think it's like cowardly, to be honest, like because they didn't speak about him like this when he was here.
Cowardly. That is what a current Celtic said about one of the most famous Celtics in franchise history.
But now that Kobe isn't here, we want to bring up the times where he wasn't as efficient or he shot long too.
Otherwise, the pattern never changes. He waits until there is no consequence and delivers the take where Kobe will never hear it. Now that he's not here, you want to try to erase history. The reason that will never work is because the players who competed with and against Kobe remember every detail. And what they remember makes Pierce's argument collapse. While Pierce was calling himself the best player alive, this is what was actually happening behind closed doors.
Now that he's not here, you want to try to erase history.
40M on a bike at 11 o'clock at night, back by 2 o'clock in the morning, already lifting weights before his teammates opened their eyes. Pierce was not on that schedule, and neither was anyone else in the league, which is why every player who actually had to guard Kobe tells a completely different story.
Then I found out he'd gone on like a 40-mile bike ride at like 11 p.m. that night, got in at like 2 a.m., and then he was in the weight room when I got down there at 7:30, so.
Every single person who stood across from Kobe Bryant on a basketball court says the same thing. And here is why. Kobe studied you, memorized your tendencies, and then scored on you while announcing what was coming next.
If you ask anybody that played against him, they all say he was the best player in the league. He was the most terrifying person to guard.
You could know the move, run the scheme, prepare all week, and none of it mattered. That is the player Pierce is trying to diminish. And this is where it escalates because Kobe did not just beat you in silence. He announced your defeat to your face.
I still couldn't stop it, and I knew what he was about to do over and over and over again, you know? And that's a part of his greatness, man.
Mid-aim, walked past an entire team's huddle, told them it was finished, and proved it on the next possession. Kobe's disrespect came with receipts on the scoreboard. Pierce's version comes with a microphone and zero accountability. That contrast is the entire story, and is the gap players from that era have always pointed to. Now stay with me, because what happens next in the Pierce and Kobe rivalry is where this whole story turns. Weeks after Boston humiliated the Lakers in 6 games during the 2008 finals, Kobe was sitting in a lounge at the Beijing Olympics with members of the women's national team and a newspaper in his hands. Without a word to anyone, he did something that tells you everything about the difference between these two men.
And then we look over and he's tearing out the picture of Paul Pierce. So he cuts it out and he folds it up, he puts it in his pocket, and like we're all looking at him, you know, like what's going on? He's like, motivation.
Pierce's face cut from a newspaper and folded into Kobe's pocket. While one man celebrated, the other was already engineering the revenge. And we know exactly how that ended. Kobe came back and beat Pierce in Game 7 of the 2010 finals for his 5th ring. That is the difference between a competitor and a commentator. One grabs the moment, the other grabs a microphone. The man who played alongside Kobe and who lived through both the Jordan and Kobe eras confirm just how close those two actually were, which buries Pierce's entire argument.
When you're on Chicago, I was with the Beatles, I was with Elvis, I was with Michael Jackson. The difference is Michael is tied and Kobe is tied evergreen. There's not that much difference.
Robert were in the building. Scottie Pippen goes even further. Jordan's running mate for 6 championships knows exactly where Kobe stands.
When I look at LeBron, he's not what Michael was as a player. He's not even what Kobe Bryant was as a player. So when you talk about trying to compare Michael's instinct, his ability to take over games, his ability to want to have that last shot.
And demoralize you.
Yes.
And scare the living hell out of you.
LeBron doesn't have that gene.
Right.
Kobe has that gene.
Pippen placed Kobe above LeBron and identified the same killer instinct he witnessed standing next to Jordan. That clutch gene you cannot measure on a spreadsheet and cannot manufacture on camera. Pierce needed a wheelchair to leave the court in Game 1 and turned it into a celebration. Kobe tore his Achilles and walked off on his own 2 feet without a single person helping him. One of those moments became a punchline. The other became a monument. The entire league knows which is which. What makes all of this uglier is that Pierce is not just attacking a player's statistics. He is attacking what Kobe meant to a generation of kids who built their lives around his example. And that is exactly what made Tatum snap.
He is the reason why I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, why I chased my dream, because I saw how hard he worked. He was my inspiration and my idol. So somebody that was 3,000 miles away from me inspired me to be who I am.
3,000 m between St. Louis and Los Angeles. And Tatum still woke up at 5:30 every morning because of Kobe Bryant. Not because of Pierce, not because of any Celtic before him, but because of the man whose name keeps ending up in Pierce's crosshairs.
I do kind of take it personal because it's that dude meant everything to me. And this energy wasn't the same when he was here.
That energy tells you everything. When Kobe heard disrespect, he did not talk about it. He answered on the court.
As soon as I walked on the court, Cole was like, "Oh, that's what we doing, motherfucker?" And didn't say nothing to me the rest of the game.
Silence followed by violence on the scoreboard. That was the only response Kobe ever gave anyone. Tatum grasps something Pierce refuses to accept. Kobe's legacy lives in what he made people feel, not in what a spreadsheet says about his shot selection.
And he's one of the 3 most influential basketball players of all time. Everybody loved, revered, respected, even from different sports, admired who he was. The year AI won an MVP, he shot 29 shots a game. He was shooting that shit every single time. But we all admire his competitiveness, how tough he was, how he got it done, how he was 6'1" and was the most fierce competitor in the world.
Tatum exposed the double standard buried inside every Pierce take. Iverson shot 29 times a game during his MVP season, and the world called it warrior mentality. But when Kobe delivered that same volume with 5 championships, suddenly it became a flaw. That argument crumbles under any real pressure, which is why it was never made to Kobe's face. Kobe operated on a philosophy Pierce could never process, one that had nothing to do with efficiency ratings or legacy debates.
What does failure mean? It doesn't exist. It's a figment of your imagination. So if you fail on Monday, the only way it's a failure on Monday is if you decide to not progress from that, right? So to me, that's why failure is not existent. Because, if I fail today, okay, I'm gonna learn something from that failure and I'm gonna try again on Tuesday.
Pierce wants to reduce that mentality to a shooting percentage. A man who believed failure did not exist, who rode 40 miles at midnight and lifted at dawn.
He would test guys in practice.
How would he test them?
Oh, elbowing them, talking to them, telling them they can't guard him. You got this guy out here and this guy can't hold my jock.
From now on out, every time down the court, I touch the ball. Y'all gonna learn what it's like to play with Kobe Bean fucking Bryant.
How y'all gonna wear these shoes and y'all soft? Ain't what we do here in LA.
That is a standard no one else demanded. And when you showed Kobe something new, he did not respect the gesture. He took it from you.
He's running down the court, pats me on the butt and says, "You never should have showed me that step back."
Your move learned, weaponized, and thrown back at you with a smile. That kind of fear does not come from a podcast clip. It comes from a man who made opponents rethink their careers after a single game. And that is the gap between Kobe and the people now questioning his legacy. Here is the part nobody wants to talk about. Being Kobe Bryant cost more than effort. It cost his body. Broken knees, damaged shoulders, a frame held together by ice, and willpower every morning. 20 years of punishment absorbed in the name of greatness. And when that Achilles finally tore, Kobe walked off under his own power, because he would rather destroy himself standing up than be carried off by anyone. The trainers offer help, and he refused every hand. Everyone watching knew exactly who that moment was aimed at. January 26th, 2020. the world lost him forever. Tatum was a young player in the league when it happened, and the way he describes that day tells you everything about what Kobe meant to the people who grew up watching him.
You know, when you're younger, you feel like your idols is like invincible. Yeah. I thought he was invincible. Like, I thought nothing ever like bad could happen to him. I remember I went to my room, I broke down crying. Like, it was a real like sad, like somber day. Like the game ain't really matter and nobody was really speaking. Like you could tell. Everybody just like felt heavy.
The whole league went quiet, and inside that silence lived an unspoken agreement. You do not cheapen what this man gave to the game. For years that held until Pierce broke it. Kobe Bryant was a psychological weapon who rewired every person who came near him. Opponents felt invisible. Teammates felt inadequate until they earned his respect. And a kid in St. Louis woke up before the sun every morning chasing something that seemed impossible because of the example one man set from 3,000 miles away. 5 rings, an MVP, 2 finals MVPs, and a work ethic that made professional athletes feel like amateurs. That is the legacy Pierce decided to challenge from behind a desk. And that is why when Jayson Tatum heard what was being said, he did not debate it. He did not soften it. He did not protect anyone's feelings. He called it exactly what it was, cowardly. If those words hit you, smash the like button for Kobe. If you think Pierce crossed the line, drop a comment and let him know. And if you want more stories the NBA does not want told, subscribe so you never miss.